Donald Trump just visited Malaysia for the ASEAN summit. The US and Malaysia quietly signed a new cooperation deal. It's timing. That's why I call this a dual engine comeback. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is Sean here. Something really big just happened, and I don't think most people realize how important it is yet. Donald Trump just visited Malaysia for the ASEAN summit, and during that visit, the US and Malaysia quietly signed a new cooperation deal, one that could actually shift how the world sees Malaysia again. Now, I know what you're thinking. Trump visit only, right? What does that have to do with our property market? Actually, quite a lot. Because moments like this, when a global power suddenly gives attention, they don't just create headlines, they create confidence. And confidence always comes before growth. So today, let's break it down in simple and dive deeper. What happened at the ASEAN summit? Which sectors could benefit first, and how it ties directly to Malaysia's property market, and why Visit Malaysia 2026 might turn this into Malaysia's biggest comeback in years. When the 47th ASEAN summit took place in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia suddenly became the stage for world attention again. Trump attended the summit, meeting ASEAN leaders. But the real highlight was his side meeting with Malaysia's government. They discussed deeper cooperation between the US and Malaysia in key industries like technology, semiconductors, clean energy, and aerospace. In simple words, it's not politics, it's a business. New opportunities, new supply chain, and new investments. And when you bring new industry in, you bring jobs, spending, and housing demand. That's how it starts, quietly under the radar, until one day people say, wow, Malaysia growing again. Let's start with technology, because that's the loudest signal right now. Malaysia has always been strong in semiconductors, especially in Penang, Kulim, and Johor, but now the US is looking for trusted partners outside China. And Malaysia ticks every box: stable, English speaking, skill, affordable. So what happens when those US tech giants expand here? You get factories, more data centers, and thousands of new engineers and professionals moving into Malaysia. Those people will need homes, schools for their kids, cafes, gym, convenience, and that's how property demand built quietly in those corridors. This is how Penang became Penang today. It wasn't just one day thing, it was 20 years of steady tech growth. Now imagine the next chapter. Same pattern, but this time nationwide. Then you have energy and aerospace. Malaysia is already known for its aviation manufacturing and MRO, maintenance, repair, overhaul industries. With this US partnership, there's talk of expanding of clean energy cooperation, and that could mean more industrial development in Subang, in Senai, and Kedah. Now, here's the interesting part. Whenever industrial growth happens, property value nearby start moving. Not immediately, but slowly and steadily. Better jobs attract new families. Families attract businesses, and businesses attract investors. The whole areas transform. If you've ever driven past a once empty area that suddenly became full of new housing and face, that's what trade growth does. It changes neighborhood from the ground up. And then there's tourism. And this is where the timing becomes perfect. While trades bring in long-term confidence, Visit Malaysia 2026 brings short-term attention. The government's target is ambitious. Over 35 million visitors, about 147 billion in tourism receipts. Now, imagine what happens when trade, tourism, and timing all align. More business visitors flying in for work, more tourists returning for leisure, more expats extending stays because they see Malaysia as livable and affordable. You get full hotel, strong service apartment demand, and renewed interest in our city and resort property. That's why I call this a dual engine comeback. Trade builds the foundation, tourism brings the spotlight, and property rides the wave. Let's make it more visual. Imagine you're in Penang. A new semiconductor plant opened nearby. Thousands of engineers arrive from Taiwan, Japan, US. They rent homes in nearby township. Cafes open, retails follow, and suddenly that quiet area you ignored 3 years ago becomes a hotspot. That's how property cycles really move. Not from speculation, but from people. Now apply that same logic to Johor, Klang Valley, and Langkawi. All different reasons, but same result. People, activity, confidence, and eventually appreciation. In Kuala Lumpur, expect more multinational offices setting up. That means more expat tenants looking for modern, well-managed home. TRX, Bukit Bintang, KLCC, Bangsa, these areas could see a steady rental climb as global companies set up post-ASEAN. In Penang, it's the same story we've seen before. With stronger US partnership, industrial zone drive residential, demand nearby, simple as that. And in Johor, this is where it gets interesting. With its proximity to Singapore and renewed manufacturing potential, Iskandar and Madani could finally enjoy the attention they were built for. And with Visit Malaysia 2026 boosting cross-border tourism, that spillover effect might finally show up in numbers. Now, let's talk emotion. Malaysia's property market has the fundamentals: affordable prices, strong legal ownership, freehold options for foreigners, good infrastructures, multilingual environment. But for a few years, we were quiet. Singapore got the spotlight, Thailand got the tourists, Vietnam got the factories. We just stay consistent, building highways, airport, rail link, and strengthening our economic slowly. Now, finally, the world is noticing again. Trump's ASEAN visit put us in the conversation. The trade agreement gave Malaysia a seat at the big table again. And Visit Malaysia 2026, that's our national reintroduction to the world. It's not hype, it's timing. And if you are an investor who understands timing, you know how rare this combination is. Here's how I see it. The next 18 months between now and Visit Malaysia 2026 is Malaysia visibility window. Right now, the world is paying attention, but the local market is still undervalued compared to Singapore, Bangkok, or even Manila. That's the gap. And smart investors always move during the gap, not after it closes. So if you have been waiting for a sign, this might be it. Of course, do your homework. If you're buying, check the developer's track record. If you're renting out, pick location near industry or tourism zone. And if you're coming from overseas, understand the ownership rules. Foreigner can own freehold strata property above state threshold. And right now, with the ringgit still soft, you're getting real value in USD or Sing dollar terms. This isn't about flipping. It's about positioning yourself early in a market that's waking up again. You know, Malaysia's story really reminds me of a quiet athlete. The kind that doesn't talk much, but keeps training in the background until the next big competition. And when the moment comes, suddenly everyone remember why they were great. That's where we, Malaysia, are right now. Our fundamental never disappeared. We just needed the world to notice us again. And they finally are. So, what do you think? Will this US-Malaysia cooperation and Visit Malaysia 2026 spark the next wave of confidence in our property market? Or will it be another short-term story? Comment below. I would love to hear your perspective. And if you're serious about exploring property here, whether you're from Singapore, Japan, Indonesia, or the Middle East, look out for me. We can schedule a one-to-one Zoom session or even meet up in KL. We'll chat about your primary objective, your budget, and which areas make the most sense for you. Or if you prefer something quick, just WhatsApp me. The link is right below in the description. We can have a friendly chat. I'll share what's really happening in the market and help you understand how to invest in Malaysia the right way. Because that's what this channel all about. Helping foreign investors invest confidently, safely, and strategically in Malaysia. And in the next video, we are diving into one of the most misunderstood topics for foreign buyers. Condo car parks. Are they really yours? Are they part of your title or are they controlled by management? Trust me, this one surprises almost everyone. So make sure you hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification, and if you are ready to explore Malaysia's property market before the crowd, message me today and I'll see you in the next one.